Hello, people. This is Baba Rakha, and this is the first time I'm letting Valerie and Daisy in with all the precious equipment that uh, I have gathered to be able to record this stuff uh, and publish it and all those things. This is Valerie. For those who don't know, people might not be aware of this, but Valerie was the first person to come up with this saying. You know that a doggo's reach should exceed their paws. Or what are the credos for? And Daisy Buff. Come on. Daisy Buff. This is Daisy. This is the younger one. And they are way too enthusiastic because whenever I change from shorts to pants, they are under the impression they're going to go for a walk, which is an excitement they cannot contain. And I locked them in this room right now. The door is closed, and they're confused. I'll show you. So, this is Valerie and Daisy. To give you a brief history, I walked out one morning. I always felt guilty about street dogs, being given the opportunity of a home. And yeah, we'll go for a walk. Yeah, yes, we will. Not right now. Yes. We're not going for a walk right now. We're not going for a walk. So, one morning I just walked out and for something else entirely. I did not leave this place, my home, thinking I'll come back with the dog. But unfortunately, there was this vermin that was doing, kicking these pups and all. And to call them vermin is an insult to vermin, I think, because there are, earthworms, bees, ants that are very necessary for our biosphere, whereas that is just an absolute waste, an absolute waste of space, food, and water. So, yeah. Something snapped inside. I could not take it anymore, so I brought Valerie. A few months later, one of Daisy's siblings was unfortunate. I saw the corpse on the side of the road, and another morning I could not take it anymore. I was like, alright, you're coming home. So that's a brief story of how Valerie and Daisy came to be here. Mm-hmm. Usually Valerie is not so loud. Valerie is the silent one. This is the one that makes all the noise. You know, not for me. Not directed towards me. You know, it's directed towards any, even the slightest noise that might happen outside the door. She's like a guard dog, and that's the response. That's the this one. The other one, she can be sneaky. Like they have their own personalities. Uh, so that's Valerie and Daisy. But I am not yet convinced I would be able to record anything with them in the room right now. I'll have to lock them out in the balcony. So, mm, mm, mm. So yeah, like this is Valerie and Daisy, and hmm. And I'm gradually getting them used to this whole thing. This is the first time they see me change from shorts to pants, and unfortunately, they are under the impression they are going to go for a walk, which they will, not right now. But yeah, that's Valerie and Daisy for you. I'll be right back. Daisy. Mm. Alright, I'm back. And no, Valerie and Daisy, they aren't trained at all. I'll let them be after bringing them home. And as much as I wish I could save them all, I'm no Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. I'm 0.0000000 multiple zeros later, 1% of them. I'm nothing, but I'm working towards that. I have a plan to get my next job. And yeah, so a recent subscriber, a brother who happens to have an amazing way to describe music, and T-Bird Haynes. I urge you to please start your YouTube channel, because man, the way you described it was the way I was feeling, and not everyone could articulate it that well. That was amazing. So please consider it, and I read your last comment, and I have been stoic for a while now. not just about my motorcycle, but about various other things. I had been stoic for way too long, uh, but eventually I'm flesh and blood. Every man has his breaking point, you know. So yeah, and I get the whole uh, thing. I get the whole thing about you know the automobile company industry having to abide by all these pesky environmental regulations and whatnot. I have seen Shark Tank. I know how capitalism works. I know how companies work. But this is the thing. Do you really think it's all a distraction? Do you really think it's that much of a coincidence that a schoolgirl, and yeah, granted, I saw, you know, uh, a recent video of hers being hauled off by the police, cops, and she's developing, but I mean, still, her delusions are quite a turn off, you know, even for Baba Rakha, you know, like, I mean, for God's sake, man, like, do you really think it's a coincidence for Mystery Mountain Hop, whom I left a for whom I left this comment about the whole engine thing and everything. Do you really think it's a coincidence that there is a kid? I mean, being cast as a cult leader, you know, being given the everything that she has. For God's sake. I mean, these Nobel Prizes for peace, literature, they're all just propaganda tools. Coincidences are the laziest way to explain things. Like my favorite character, like the character from one of my favorite movies, V for Vendetta, says, "I, like God, do not believe in coincidences. There are always explanations. It's just that we don't want to use our brains to tell, to see how." And yeah, I haven't graduated to that levels of delusions yet. Baba Rakha hasn't yet. I am no God. I'm flesh and blood. Uh, Hence, I had my breaking point. And to quote Christopher Nolan's Batman, like, unfortunately, I've never had luxury of friends. I've never had the luxury of friends. I'm Batman. This channel has been the only way to rant my concerns about rant my. This channel has been my only way to rant my concerns about the things that bother me, and yeah, I mean, yeah, like if any of you who have been previously, you have still been watching, you know, yeah, I'm grateful for you. And T-Bird Haynes, like, all I'm doing is voicing out I'm just ranting out, man. It's not like I'm being black. I'm not shooting them up or robbing them or anything. and I was told about AI, and I hadn't used AI at all. I had heard a lot about it. I heard Nvidia shares soared through the roof because of the GPUs that they were manufacturing that are apparently very essential to the AI. And recently, Baba Rakha wrote a song about gurus, fake gurus, real gurus. Everywhere you look, every corner you look, there's a guru, selling you something. So I wrote a song about it. It goes like this. And then, just today, for the first time, I went to ChatGPT and I typed exactly, can you write an acoustic guitar song about gurus? And man, was it, by God, was it dumbfounded. I wish I had come up, written something like this. It says, in the morning light, under skies so blue, whispers of wisdom they call out to you. Sitting cross-legged in silent repose, gurus of old where enlightenment flows. Gurus of the ages with stories untold, teachings of peace in a world so cold, strumming their lessons in melodies pure, guiding our spirits forevermore. On mountain tops high where the eagles soar, their words like the wind forevermore. Excuse me, sorry. See, that is a human edition. Yeah, I can't burp. Not yet. Simple truth spoken with profound grace, echoing through time and space. Their hands on the strings, they dance of the soul, each note a lesson, making us whole. Through laughter and tears, they show us the way, in the silence of night and the light of day. So let the strings resonate with their gentle sound. In the heart of the seeker, true wisdom is found. For the song of the gurus forever shall ring. In the song of the soul, where true freedom sings. I wish I was capable of writing something like this. My lyrics are more like, directly on the nose. The best lyrics I ever wrote, the best lines that I ever wrote, was back in college when I had my last crush. Those lines were to elicit a response from a girl in college, and later I found that those lines might not necessarily be, limited to someone that you have a crush on. It relates to all of you as well. The same way that I feel that, it goes, many suns have risen and sunk since, and indeed, there'll be many more. But in these endless juggle of passing days, and all the ripples on the surface that we are and that we cause. There are indeed a few resonances that chance. They leave their notes, both fair and sour, for many suns to rise and many to sing sense. I don't know where these lines came from. It just came out of me. Uh, and Granted, I have written a lot more since, but I've never been able to match that. That was just the height of poetry from my end, from my. So, yeah, that applies to you as well. This recitation for you was for all of you who are watching. And but the good thing about AI is it's not apparently from the comedians that I've been watching. I've been told, I don't know. I haven't experimented myself about this, but I've been told that ChatGPT is very, politically correct, very woke. It'll tell you that if black people are robbing you, you are the problem for not allowing them to rob you. It'll tell you that it is right, it is their right to rob you, and it is your duty to oblige and be robbed and be shot and be bullied and all of those things into a corner, which has resulted in this current world. So yeah. So yeah. I'm floored by AI. I wish I had the capacity to write something like this. I wish I had written this. I wish I had the neurons enough just to be able to write perhaps 1% of Lord of the Rings. I have trouble with coming up with names for characters. All the names that I have been allotted are the ones that I'm carrying. All the names, titles, all of those things. So yeah. All right. Now today we're reacting to Led Zeppelin's For Your Life from the O2 Arena. This was a recent recommendation by Mike. My apologies, I'm not connected to the internet right now and I don't recall your entire username. My apologies, but yeah. So this was the most recent recommendation from the O2 Arena, and yeah, let's listen to some Led Zeppelin, because yeah, there is a tinge of sadness that there'll be never there, like Cosmic Pixie Dust says in the comments, there and so many other people who have resonated with the same that there will never be another Led Zeppelin. There'll never be anything like them, but we have their music. It's down in history. until the time Iceland planes on buildings take over. So, you know, uh, while we have this, I can enjoy it. And yeah, let's do that. Led Zeppelin, For Your Life, at the O2 Arena. Something I never even heard the name of the song. So let's go.
This is one we've. This is a first adventure with this song in public.
All right, with this, for those who have been watching along so far, I mentioned multiple times that I'm yet to find a lesser work of Led Zeppelin. Every artist has his peak of brilliance, and all artists do. And eventually, not eventually. I mean, it depends. It's, you know, occasionally there are moments of not that bright. Now, this is the first time, as much as I admire Led Zeppelin, and as much as I admire their brotherhood, if you notice in the middle, John Paul Jones was looking at Jason Bonham to try to include him as part of the band. I think this was an attempt at, you know, brotherhood, that sort of thing. And they have my utmost admiration and respect for that. But this was their lesser work, and the guy who recommended this to me, bro. Come on, man. Like, anyways, my apologies. As you can see, Baba Rakha can be very gullible. Trust everyone until he learns not to. So, I mean, that was the original self who did that. Baba Rakha is supposed to be more careful about these things. Anyways, as an apology for this disappointment, I'm going to react to another song. For that, I'll have to reconnect to the internet. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I don't want to leave with that disappointment. I want to react to something good. And this is from back in the day. I'm not told when, but it's from back in the day. This now Look, look at how stoic Baba Raka has been. I'm not being black about it. I'm not being National Geographic about it. I'm not shooting people. I'm not robbing people. See, that's the thing, you know. People need to be more creative with the N word. You know, National Geographic fits perfectly. You know, use the part of the body that they haven't developed yet. All right. So I was encouraged to react to Led Zeppelin's songs chronologically. And this is their first song from their first album. That's what Google tells me. Good times, bad times. This is from back in the day. Live. Let's get to it. I'm so glad I listened to this. I can listen to this endless number of times. What does this mean? I am aware Led Zeppelin 4 album. It was 4 symbols that I do intend to get tattooed on my knuckles someday. And there's also refers to Paige. But, why does it say Matt Jernigan as lead vocals, John McDaniel lead guitar, Adam Sandling bass, Greg Thompson drums? Don't get it. Okay. But it was great watching them back. And yeah. Thank you to all of you. If there's anyone still watching, thank you so much for watching. And I do realize I'm ranting a lot, and I will continue to, but I am continuously working on making those rants more and more profound and entertaining as possible. So thank you for tagging along. Yeah, a disappointment followed by redemption. Chronologically, no, but still, at least in this video. So yeah, thank you. Take care. Until next time. Thus with Anya, au revoir. Bye.